with that, I'm going to call to order this Planning Commission meeting Thursday, July 11th, 2024. Do we have any public comments not relating to the current agenda? That is a no. All right, I'll move forward for approval of our minutes from the May 9th meeting. Can I get a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve.
Can I get a second?
Second.
We need a vote.
Yeah.
Now, I can't vote because I wasn't here, right?
Correct.
Okay. Aaron Rooney,
Yes.
Taylor Mills,
Yes.
Lloyd Lentz.
Yes.
Motion passes. Moving forward, PC application number 24-005, discussion and possible action on a request to close a 33-foot by 558-foot portion of Pulse Drive right-of-way. The portion of right-of-way is located adjacent to 505 Pulse Drive and 521 Pulse Drive. Staff, can we get a report?
Yes. Okay. The applicant is requesting closure of a 33-foot by 558-foot portion of Pulse Drive. The portion to be closed is the only dedicated right-of-way along Pulse Drive. Pulse Drive extends from Division Street to the end of the applicant's property. There are only 2 developed properties along Pulse Drive, with the applicant being one of the properties. The city owns a property along the eastern portion of the right-of-way and the property to the north, which is the airport. The utility easement will remain as there are electrical and gas utilities within the easement. There are no objections received from utilities or the City of Guthrie Public Works Department. The request is for closure, vacation of the right-of-way, or abandonment of any easements would have to be accomplished through district court. And based on the above discussion, the staff recommends the Planning Commission approve the request to close the portion of street right-of-way as outlined in the application.
So this portion has electrical and, where did I see it? And gas utilities in it already, huh?
I believe so, yes.
If you don't mind, I can comment on that, if it's okay?
Yeah, if you wouldn't.
I am the applicant, I've lived there all my life, so.
Sure, please step up,
I'll
state.
step up here so that everybody can
Thank you.
hear me. As far as the understanding of it, yes, they're on the north boundary of the right-of-way is UE for the electric service, and the gas service is actually just north of that boundary, about 3 feet, which is actually on city property for the city of airport, or the airport property, is where the actual gas line is, other than the private line that feeds my residence.
Okay. Boy,
So how long have you owned that property?
We've owned well, it's been a combined property. Overall, since the early 90s, we actually owned everything except the Cantrell property. And I, over time, bought additional property behind, which recently was purchased by the city of Guthrie for an expansion of the airport to the east side there. And then the property at the end of the home, or at the end of the road, which is 521 Pulse Drive, which is my current residence. I've resided there since 2011. We've owned the property since 2007.
Okay. Has this always been a right-of-way?
It
As
is
long
a
as you've owned the property?
It is a questionable right-of-way, but yes, it is a right-of-way. We went through abstracting and we went through lots of due diligence, because I own the 55 acres all around that place, to determine if the roadway was ever rightfully given to the city, so on and so forth. And we have come up with a dead end that it's not there, but yet the city still shows it as a right-of-way, which is hence my request for trying to close it, because I would like to put a closure fence on the north boundary of the property, which would be on the opposite side of the roadway than my current stated property line is. So that's the main reason for the closure.
Okay. Do you know if we received any response from the letters that went out?
We did not.
Okay,
Did not.
thank you.
Other
So-
than city property, for clarification, other than city property within the 300 feet is only one other, my neighbor, which would be Sandy Cantrell. That is the 505 Pulse Drive, which I spoke with her about it. We tried this process about 5 or 8 years ago, but I was requesting closure from way down where the manhole was before selling the additional property. And at that time, that was unsuccessful, but she had no objections at that time either. And I highly doubt she would have any objections at this moment as well.
Yeah, it just seems, so by closing this will allow you to utilize that land, but there's still electric and gas just north of it?
Well, we're not going to affect the utility easement regardless. The utilities will still have access. So on the north boundary of the roadway, there was a picture up on
Yeah,
the-
that's what
but-
I'm-
But on the north boundary of the roadway, basically the adjacent to the airport property,
Yeah,
just putting up a fence between those two properties. Because right now I can't technically close off the property between the two. We have a lot of issues when the fly-in happens and some of the other stuff. And I personally understand that the airport is growing, which is great. I'm a pilot and I really appreciate that the airport is growing.
sure.
But I also kind of want to have that segregation as well. That's the main reason for putting that fence up, to stop some of the additional traffic that I get of people that are possibly lost, people that are crossing the field that they're really not supposed to drive across, stuff like that. I'm trying to prevent some of that stuff because it affects me as well as far as a property owner.
On the far east side of that highlighted portion, on the far east side of that, you can see a gap where the cedar trees are removed.
Mm-hmm.
And I've driven many times down Pulse, and you can tell that it's been used as a shortcut. Cut
And-
through
and-
the field from the airport to Pulse or from Pulse to the airport.
Right, and per cleaning up the tree line, they've actually removed the entire tree line. There
Yeah.
is no trees on the north boundary anymore. That's where I came back around robin to this process. Because now instead of trimming the trees the last time, they've opted, per Teeny Maker and City Works, they've opted to go ahead and remove all the trees so that they didn't have to come back and trim them anymore, which is great. I appreciate that. I just want to now make that barrier back, of some type of privacy barrier in so much. I mean, there's a lot of traffic again that visits the airport, and it's my personal residence, so.
And it's my understanding that west of this, going over to Division, that is already, like, that's not a right-of-way. It's just this section right here.
Right, this is the only section that shows up on the planning map for some reason. And again, it's still been a negotiation for about the last 10 or 12 years of how that right-of-way even ended up there. Because it technically, in all of my due diligence and research and abstracting and everything, even when we went to sell the property to the city, we still could not find a rightful document that gave that right-of-way to the city of Guthrie in the first place. So that's, again, why I revisit this process, because now it's kind of dead. It's kind of a no man's land. It's a dead zone there that I have no intentions at the moment of any intentions of actually physically vacating the roadway for future use. If the airport ever has to use it, I would understand that. I just would like to put a fence, and per conversations with Dan Cassica and such, the only way to do so is to close the roadway, to remove that right away.
Do you have any other concerns?
This right-of-way doesn't seem to serve much of a purpose, if indeed it ever did,
I
based upon what you said.
agree 100%.
So,
Yeah, I feel the same way. That was a good point Kaylee made, how it doesn't connect actually towards the main flow of traffic.
yeah,
Looks like it's pretty random. I don't foresee, with my current level of knowledge, I don't foresee any issues.
yeah, I don't either.
Well,
I will make a motion to approve that.
Okay.
I'll second it.
Okay, we want to vote?
yeah.
Aaron Rooney,
Yes?
Kaylee Mills,
Yes.
Brent Linford,
Yes.
Lloyd Lentz.
Yes.
Okay.
All right. Staff, do you have any, oh, congratulations, sir.
I'll dismiss myself because I don't think I need to be here for anything.
No, you're good.
Thank you, thank you
It's the
for,
first time I've ever been to a planning commission meeting when there's no.
thank you for coming.
Guys, have a great day.
All right, staff, do you have any further comments?
No comments.
Commissioners?
I thought Red Brick Nights was awesome, and
Heck yeah.
fireworks.
Very
So-
proud.
Great job, everyone.
Yeah, they always put on a good show.
Yes, they did. I'd like to thank everybody that participated in that. And it sounds like our airport is doing great. So it's all good news.
Yeah.
With that, this meeting is adjourned.